4. Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with men's swimming coach Joel Shinofield, women's swimming captain Tess Hayden, and men's track and field captain Tyler Grant. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee sports. As always, you can find all of the latest WNL athletics news in detail at generalsports.com. In women's basketball, junior Meg Ingram became the 8th member of the 1,000 point club at Washington and Lee, and the Generals picked up ODAC wins over Lynchburg and Randolph. The men's team also beat Lynchburg, scoring an 80-73 victory over the Hornets on Sunday. Also this weekend, wrestling finished 5th out of 7 squads at the annual WNL Invitational. Senior Keith Jaworski, our guest on last week's show, was named the tournament's most outstanding wrestler after winning the championship of the 157-pound class, and first-year Eric Fessel won at 141 pounds. In indoor track and field, the WNL men beat Roanoke, and the women tied the Maroons in a dual meet at VMI. And the men's and women's swimming teams both picked up wins against Gettysburg at home on Saturday. With me now is men's swimming coach Joel Shinofield. Joel, welcome back to the program.
Thanks, Jeremy.
You've been training extensively in the intervening time, but Saturday was your first official meet since early December. How did your team respond on the return to competition?
I think they responded really well. I think you never really want to have boys sitting around not racing for a month and a half, but that's the situation that we were in. But they came back, responded incredibly well. We had a great meet from top to bottom. Really contributions from every member of our team. Probably one of the most solid dual meets we've had all year.
From your viewpoint, how has WNL fared against a very tough schedule this year?
You know, we've had ranked teams in Division II, Division I teams on our schedule, as well as a bunch of ranked Division III teams. I think we've handled it very well. You know, we've won more meets in the past, obviously, but I think our team's been really well tested, and that prepares us incredibly well for the Bluegrass Championship in a few weeks.
You're going to see one of those teams weekend after next when you go to number 4 Johns Hopkins for a dual meet. What are your expectations for Baltimore?
Well, Johns Hopkins has to be one of the most improved teams in the country. After graduating probably the best backstroker in the history of Division III in John Thomas, they've picked up some incredible freshmen who've just plugged in, and they are a very deep and very dangerous team. I think our team's in the right place, and we have the opportunity to go up there and give them a great run for their money, and hopefully we come away with a win.
The Bluegrass Mountain Conference Championship starts in less than a month. If you would, give us a quick scouting report of what the Generals will face there.
Sure. Well, I think Wingate is a top 10 Division II team, and they've picked up a couple of mid-season additions from the Ukraine who are very good. And being the 3-time defending champion, they've got to be right now the pick for the first place finish. I think Hopkins and Washington only are right behind them, with probably Limestone and SCAD immediately behind us. It's going to be a very tight race for the finish, with any of those 5 teams having an opportunity to win if they step up and do the right things. And we've got a good history of our guys doing that at the championship.
Joel, thanks for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Jeremy.
I'm joined now by Tess Hayden, senior swimming captain from Wilmette, Illinois. Tess, welcome to the program.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
The Generals beat Gettysburg pretty handily on Saturday in your first meet since early December. How pleased were you with the way the weekend went?
I was really pleased with the outcome of the meet on Saturday, especially because we've had a really challenging past few weeks. I know a lot of the team had really been looking forward to this meet all year because it's one of our tougher ones, and we knew it was going to be hard to beat Gettysburg because they have a great team. The first time that we ever beat them was 2 years ago, so we definitely had a lot of motivation going into the meet. And it was really exciting to win the first few events of the meet and just use that momentum to carry us through to the end and secure our first victory of the semester.
You had 2 brothers who swam competitively at the collegiate level, one at Penn and one at Northwestern. What's it like to be part of a family full of athletes?
Well, my brothers were definitely the reason I got into swimming. Being the youngest, I always wanted to do what they were doing, so I began following in their footsteps at a very young age. They were great people to look up to because they were both very successful students and athletes. So because of their successes, I had something driving me when I was younger because I never wanted to be the one who didn't qualify for a meet or didn't get into a great college. And they had great experiences swimming all those years. So I always knew that being a college athlete had something really special to offer.
You've got Catholic and Marymount coming to Lexington this weekend, and it's your final event here in 2010-11. What are your thoughts as you prepare to swim your final home race?
Well, it's really starting to hit me that I'm almost done with swimming forever. Swimming has been a huge part of my life for the past 16 years now, and I honestly don't know what I'm going to do when I don't have to go to practice anymore. But going into the meet this weekend, I'm just going to think about enjoying myself and having a good time in my last few events at Cy Twombly. I've been really lucky to have been part of such an incredible team the past few years, and swimming is so emotionally and physically challenging, and so it really comes down to who's in the lane next to you pushing you to finish practice. So I'm really going to miss spending every day with my teammates because they've been a huge part of my college career, and I'm really thankful for that.
You're a three-time first-team All-ODAC selection, and the conference championship meet is just around the corner. What will the Generals need to do to maintain their supremacy in the ODAC?
Well, I really believe that right now our team looks the best that I've seen it look in my 4 years at WNL. We've worked harder than ever this season. We put in countless hours in the pool and the weight room. So a lot of the hard work is done already. But the next few weeks are definitely the most important. We have a couple weeks left of hard training, and then we start resting for ODACs. So we just need to continue building on an already successful season. Everyone has pushed themselves this year, and I know we're set up really well to swim fast at ODACs. I believe that we're going to have a lot of school records come down, so I can't wait to see what happens.
Tess, thanks for joining us on the show. Good luck against Catholic and Marymount this weekend.
Thank you.
I'm joined now by Tyler Grant, junior track and field captain from Sewanee, Georgia. Tyler, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You had the win over Roanoke at VMI on Saturday. What does a dual meet victory against an ODAC rival do for you as you start the 2011 portion of the schedule?
I think it definitely gives us a lot of momentum. You know, in the past, Roanoke's been a rival for us on the guys' side. I know on the girls' side, Roanoke has always dominated the conference on the women's. So with the tie on the women's side and with the guys, you know, clearly winning with a significant margin, it definitely produced a lot of momentum in practice.
During the outdoor season last year, you set a school record for the decathlon and nearly qualified for the Division III championship. What's the mindset for that type of event with so many different components?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely a take it day by day thing. You know, there's 10 different events. You know, anything from throwing to pole vaulting to hurdling to running. So you gotta work hard in the weight room, practice hard on the field, and luckily I've got a lot of really young guys on the field that are helping me, pushing me in practice, and I'm just trying to keep it day by day and keep a mindset of working hard.
How do you approach your role as captain, especially on a team with so many first years?
Well, it's been a unique experience. Having a lot more freshmen than we're used to having. There's a lot more questions. There's actually a lot of positive energy on the track. So it just comes to being positive, encouraging, guiding the guys the best I can do. But it's great having a lot of new talent on the team.
The Generals were picked third in the ODAC coaches poll for the indoor season. What kind of expectations do you have for the conference?
I mean, Lynchburg is usually the top team, followed by Bridgewater, and then I guess we were seated third. I think the coaches poll is not taking into account the different guys we have on the team. David Fishman, Will Travis, pole vaulting. Myself and Parker Howard running around the hurdles. Xander Tallman, which has already broke a school record in the 400-meter dash indoor. We've got a lot of talent on the distance team. I think we could definitely make a mark, maybe even take that second spot for the first time in a long time, actually.
Tyler, thanks for being here, and good luck this year.
No problem.
The wrestling team heads to Maryland for a trio of Centennial Conference matches on Saturday. At the McDaniel Quad, the Generals will take on Stevens, the Merchant Marine Academy, and the host Green Terror. Back in Lexington, the men's and women's swimming teams face Catholic and Marymount, while women's basketball squares off against ODAC rival Eastern Mennonite. For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.